Howdy folks, this is Russ Dwarf of the Killer Dwarfs, and you're watching The Metal Voice.
Welcome to another edition of The Metal Voice, and we're here.
Yes, here we
with
are.
the legendary lead singer of the iconic Canadian band, Killer Dwarfs, Russ Dwarf himself.
Mr. Dwarf.
The crowd goes crazy. Russ, you know,
Yes, sir.
we know we've done other things since the breakup of Killer Dwarfs, but it just seems like now you're back full throttle with an acoustic album, books, movies. We're going to try to get into it all today to let everybody know what you've been up to and what we can expect from Russ Dwarf in the coming months and years. So
Awesome.
let's get right into Wireless.
Wireless.
An acoustic album of some of the biggest hits from Killer Dwarfs. Why now and why acoustic?
A friend of mine who I've known since I was 14, we just got the acoustic guitars out and we went out and did a bunch of shows, and then he thought, why don't we go in and do some of these, songs that are your favorite from the Dwarfs live off the floor. And a good friend of mine that I've worked for years with, Fred Duvall, who has the bunker that we record a lot of stuff at. We went in and we said, let's just do this live off the floor. And I was just kind of like, let's eat Chinese food and drink beer. And so it turned into 9 months, actually. So this is the funny, live off the floor, 9 months later. It's kind of like overnight sensation, 10 years later. But we had a lot of fun, and I had a lot of friends like come in and play that, old pals of mine that play guitar, and we just did guitar and vocal, and these songs hold up, in my opinion, after all these years, because they're pretty solid. So you don't really you didn't need all that, and it's just a different interpretation of it, and it was just fun. It was just done on a whim, and I really wasn't going, I'm gonna make a hit record here and blah blah blah. And I'm shocked at what's happening.
You know what, Russ? I heard you on "Keep the Spirit of Alive." One of your bigger hits. Man, that was a fantastic vocal. Fantastic.
I was surfing the net and I was checking out what you were up to. I found that this album's been released. I sent it to Jim, and my words were, check out The Voice. The Voice is amazing.
It's always been The Voice, hasn't it? Probably one of the most underrated singers in Canada.
Well, underrated groups of all time, I would say.
You're blushing. I see you blushing.
That's my blood pressure.
The check's in the mail.
It's it's only rock and roll. The record is a postcard because unfortunately everybody can't be in there, and we have a lot of fun, and and that's the great thing about music, is the camaraderie and the friends you make and everything. You know what I mean? It's
Russ, it's interesting. Like, there's so many metal bands out there today, yet they're always missing that key ingredient, the singer, right? That you just don't find the melody or the vocal range. It's always they're always lacking in the singing department. And when I hear your songs, or when I was listening this week before preparing for this interview, we're going back in time. We're putting our leather jackets on and we're listening to Killer Dwarfs, and it just reminds you of how great of a singer you are, and also that time period. How many great singers there were in that time period. And
well, it's an exciting time, because if we go back to the early 80s, there was Killer Dwarfs. Helix was coming out of the 70s, starting to get some success as well. Kick-Axe was another Canadian, Lee Aaron. So we were proud to be Canadian because we were getting these success, and the bands were, again, struggle at home.
What about
maybe.
Brighton Rock?
Brighton Rock. And of course the April Wine, Triumph, Rush were the big three, and now we see them also. Coney Hatch is in the studio.
Yeah.
They're also recording right now. 4
friends of mine. We're all of us know each other.
Right.
And another great song is "Starting to Shine." I just think it just acoustically. I mean, it's a great song, as a hard rock song, but it's just fantastic.
That was probably one of the hardest ones to do. It's just it's really more of a live metal song that you need to be singing when you're 26 years old.
But maybe that's why it took so long to do the album. Was it hard choosing songs?
It wasn't really. I picked stuff that I like, but Glenn Belcher, like I said, he had a lot to do with it. He did most of the heavy lifting on it, and it was stuff that he liked too as well. Obviously I love them all because I'm involved in all of them, but some of them you wouldn't think it would lean itself towards that, but like Starting to Shine or whatever, or Weapons. Like I love my favorite one. Probably my favorite one on the record is a song called "Look Around," which was basically an album track from Method to the Madness.
Right.
It was, if you listen to the original version of that, it's like a huge orchestrated vocal, kind of situation with a lot of stuff going on.
And where can you pick it up? I mean, we're not gonna. Where can you pick it up right now?
I think you can go to RussDwarf.com, but I think it's on everything, iTunes, Amazon. But if you go to RussDwarf.com, it'll direct you to the cash register.
Okay. You got a good choice of selections from Stand Tall all the way, like you said, to Method to the Madness. My first Killer Dwarf album was, of course, the initial one. No songs off of that, and I thought there was some song like Fire in Your Eyes that lended probably themselves to acoustic, maybe even Time to Move On. So I'm just wondering.
I like those. I skipped that album because I don't really do anything off that record, and it's the age-old story. That record is hard for me to listen to, but and I appreciate that a lot of people like that record and stuff, and I love the song Fire in Your Eyes and stuff. So maybe it's something to do rework, but there is another bonus track coming.
Okay.
That is from the first album. It's Can't Lose. Some friends of mine, Jeff Land from San Antonio, Texas, he did a version of it, and I've just gotten it this week, and I'm going to sing on it, and we're going to release it just as a bonus kind of thing, because the band started, Killer Dwarfs when we started to break into America. San Antonio was like the first place we ever went, and they're a huge music, it's probably the best rock and roll town on the planet. These people are like hardcore, and they love that song, and they love that album. That album was #1 there, and it's just, anyways, that's coming.
So let's get into now.
Yeah.
The secret and lost killer. Is it a secret and lost Killer Dwarfs album? What is this? What's going on here?
As of last night, it's not a secret.
Start at 1.
It's called Start at 1.
Okay.
We did this record in 1993.
Okay.
After we were dropped from Epic.
Okay.
And there's 9 tunes on it. I'm sure you probably know more about it than I do at this point. But it's being remixed right now, and I had the album for all these years, and I think it's leaked out a bit and stuff. And, it's not like we're fucking Zeppelin or something. But it's a good representation of what we were at the time, what would have happened after Madness or whatever.
Okay.
And there's some great songs on there.
Great.
And
when will that be available?
it's being remixed right now, and we're writing a couple of extra tunes. Tunes for it that will go on it. And like I said, the album's called Start at 1. I think they're looking at July right now.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right.
Now.
But we'll see. Anything can happen in that time spot. But it is getting remixed right now and everything. So yeah, it's kind of cool.
Any tour dates following that release? And more importantly,
what's touring?
Was it an amicable reunion, or was it tough pulling everybody together?
No, this was easy. We're still all friends and everything.
Okay, good.
We basically, there obviously we had to fight about shit and stuff. It's like, you're not getting that. Yes, I am. Fuck you. But, we went out and got drunk and basically fell down and said, yeah, let's fucking do it.
signed a lot of contracts that we didn't remember the next day. And
Exactly.
All right, so is there a new Killer Dwarfs album? Okay, we talked about your wireless project from Russ Dwarf. We talked about the Lost album in 1993 for Killer Dwarfs.
Yeah.
And now we've got, is there a new Killer Dwarfs album?
A Metal Voice exclusive, a re-release of a track that was from their first album.
Oh. I don't know if that's
you got the exclusive.
Did we?
Yeah.
We got the exclusive. What's the name of the track?
Can't Lose.
Can't Lose. There you go. There you have it.
And now, is there going to be a follow-up Killer Dwarfs album?
It's hard to say. We're planning right now to do a little tour.
Okay.
I don't know what's going to happen.
Good.
you know, if it all comes together, that's fabulous. That would be great fun to do because those guys, we get along great and we have a lot of fun playing that music, and it would just be fun to do.
And a book. What is this?
Yeah.
A book? Russ Dwarf? The book?
movie.
I don't know.
No one. He has no time to
I
sleep.
can't write. I can only look at pictures.
A color book. A coloring book.
Yes, color outside the lines. There's some stuff happening. I'm involved in a bunch of other projects. Mitch LaFawn, a friend of mine, I'm doing this Kiss tribute with him.
Okay.
And I have a thing with Sean Kelly. Do you know Sean?
Yeah,
has a book coming out, and there's
Okay.
going to be some announcements about that happening, and we're doing some stuff with that.
A documentary?
And I have this documentary that they've been working on for a couple of years, and it's basically the story of my life, so get the small popcorn.
Okay.
Russ Dwarf, the story of Russ Dwarf.
No, it's called Tall Tales, actually.
I like that. Okay, it's good. It's good. Make sure to include us in your book. So, Russ.
Send me Putin.
Yeah,
That's
no
right, don't
problem.
worry about it.
You can get that. You can get that everywhere now. You don't have to
Probably
send
get that in Toronto.
That's the real stuff, man.
All right. Since Black Sabbath is coming out with their new album 13, we thought we'd just throw this in, have a little fun. All right.
Okay.
Your top 3 Sabbath albums of all time, and I'm talking about Ian Gillan,
Tony Martin.
Tony Martin. I'm talking about
Ozzy
Osbourne and Ian Gillan. I'm talking about your top 3 Black Sabbath albums. Let's start with number 3.
Number 3, Never Say Die.
Oh, Never Say Die. All right. Okay. Interesting. Number 2.
Mob Rules.
Oh, classic. Number 1.
Heaven and Hell.
Jeez,
Yeah.
there you go. Yeah, go, Alan. What do you think?
Well, just before mine, Russ. I know you had a chance to meet Ronnie James Dio. Any comments on meeting him, the legend and the man? More importantly, the man.
He was a very, very nice guy. We did shows with him, and we also met him when we were doing Dirty Weapons, and he's shorter than me.
Yeah,
And,
I was going to ask you if you saw.
He's amazing. Like he is,
He calls you the tall guy. You're not even that tall. Short, 5'4". Okay, so Alan, I want to hear your top 3.
I got to go with again, Volume 4 with the Aussie Years is one of my favorites. A lot of good guitar work and a little bit of a transitional album for them. And Mob Rules and Heaven and Hell, of course. Yeah,
I'm gonna go with mine.
Being from the early '80s, I mean, those two were a natural fit.
I'm
for
going to
me,
go with
so.
mine. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
It's got to be Mob Rules as number 3.
Okay.
Number 2 has got to be Born Again. Did you hear that?
Oh,
Born
my God.
Again, Ian Gillan.
Yeah, I love
Disturbing the Priest. You can't get a better song than that. Zero the Hero.
Yeah,
Born
for sure.
Again. And number 1, Heaven and Hell. And
See?
I mean, I think we've all picked like. Heaven
Maybe
and
it was
Hell.
the years that it came out. Maybe
I don't know. Actually, I knew Black Sabbath from Heaven and Hell before I knew Black Sabbath with the Aussie Years, because that was the age I grew up in, right?
Yeah.
That's when Heaven and Hell came out, and it was a monster of an album.
Well, looking
Great
forward to
album.
hearing the new tour and listening to their new album as well. So.
All right.
Yeah, we used to do, the Dwarfs used to do Mob Rules and a couple stuff off that. I think we did some stuff off Heaven and Hell too.
My top 3 albums, I didn't even include Ozzy in one of them.
Oh, that's
Strange.
So not mine too.
there
So
go.
you like
Never
Johnny
Say Die.
Blade, huh? You like Johnny Blade?
Pardon me?
Off Never Say Die, Johnny Blade.
Oh yeah, and I love Never Say Die. That song, it's awesome.
Yeah, that's a wicked song.
Down, Jim. Yeah.
Never Say Die. All right.
All right.
Thank you for
Well,
this interview.
Yeah, thanks very
You're
much.
most welcome.
Guys, Russ Dwarf, his new album, Wireless, get it. You could even package it off their website with the famous here. I'll pull up my copy here. Reunion of Scribes, DVD 2001. Russ is on the tricycle. He's kicking it. He's got the headstands. This is a great live. Really represents the Killer Dwarfs.
But wait a
live.
second, there's more.
You can also get-
the reissue of Killer Dwarfs, Dirty Weapons, Method to the Madness, and what was the other? Stand Tall.
But wait, you can also get the set of Jinsu knives at K-Tel.
But wait a second, he's coming out with a book.
I've got it all, man. Order by midnight tonight.
All right, man.
He doesn't sleep. The man that doesn't sleep. Russ Dwarf here live on the Metal Voice.
Up the tricycles.